And boom, we're live. What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in to Christmas on Crest on a Man. Do we have a show for you today? With us is John DeCosmo, the master, the Christmas light guru behind all things awesome of the Ultimate Company. How you doing today, John?
Good, Charlie. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing phenomenal. So for the folks who live underneath a rock, have no idea who you are, can you tell the folks who you are and what you do?
My name is John DeCosmo. My company, based in Chicago, invented and supplies the light tools that keep the industry, keep the Christmas lights running in the industry. That would be the Light Keeper Pro and our LED Keeper. And as Charlie well knows, we work on other products right now, heavily into fragrance for the artificial Christmas tree.
Yes, you are. Now, for the viewers who are going to watch this later and like, hey, I'm going to watch the interview, but where do I buy the product? So let's get that out of the way real quickly if we can for the viewers who watch us back on the recorded end. Where can they go to buy your stuff?
Lightkeeper Pro is normally in over 10,000 stores in North America every fourth quarter. Great stores like Home Depot, like Ace Hardware, like Canadian Tire, and so many more, and of course on Amazon.
Yeah, that's I get a lot of folks. Oh, we have people watch us from all over the land. Like right now, as an example, in the comments, we have. By the way, folks, we're going to be doing a giveaway. John has kindly offered to do a giveaway, so put into the comments. We're going to do it by random draw. Just make sure you put in there hashtag keeper, and we'll give away at the end of the video. We're going to give away a prize to the person that gets randomly selected. But I get people in the comments right now, kind of to digress here a little bit. My Kiwi Christmas. This is a guy named Pepsi who hails to us from New Zealand. And he says he's up today. Good morning and a very beautiful day here in New Zealand. There you go. And we got Kurt from Clear Christmas Cable. Does palm trees excellently in Florida. We got Alan in here. Happy Thanksgiving to those celebrating. We got Doris in here. We got a lot of the yarn tubers here, the yarn tuber community. Wallace is in here. Scott Dries hailing from Kansas. He's a farmer. And from England, we have Angela, calls herself the Crazy Poppy Lady. Hi, Charlie, and this is Bright Sparks. And put that hashtag keeper in there for the giveaway. Boom. So I'm curious, can you tell the story behind Ultimate and how you chose the company name? Because I have no idea the answer to that question, and I'm fascinated by it.
Understood. So in the year 1996, I was one of only two companies to start in pre-lit trees, and we clearly were the affordable choice. Oh, we worked hard, and had I trademarked fast enough, the company name would have been Lit and Ready. But okay. You learn about trademark law quickly. Once you come out with it, you've got to run to the USPTO and get it registered. So we had an all-night meeting, two couples, my wife and I and another couple, and worked on names. But we came out with Ultilit because the trees were beautifully bright and people weren't used to that. And we called it the Ultimate in Christmas Trees. That was our marketing out of the box. And this is how we got started with it. And thus the name Ultilit. Ulta or Ultra have the same meaning. But what happened quickly is people bought the trees and they loved that we hid the wires. And that was important. So,
I bet the hidden wires. I mean, that's one thing that it's just me, but I prefer the green wire to the white wire, with the sole exception, I guess, if you have a white fake Christmas tree and you want the white wires cool, the green wires are where it's at. And the fact that you hit them, and you're there before this started for anybody, you're ahead of the game.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to digress here a little bit. So one question I get a ton is about pre-lit trees. Is there any? Have you thought about bringing that back at any point as a product that you guys sell?
We would, if I saw a void in the marketplace, I think that you would see us there.
Okay.
But I gotta say that I tip my hat to everybody involved that I think the lights get better each year, that the trees get better. And I think we found our role more on the inventive side, working on different new things, which I'll show you later. But it's a competitive business that might surprise many.
Oh yeah.
And so we did good.
Yeah.
Charlie, I don't know that you know this. I started in 96. The way we get going on these tools, in 99, 100% of my trees are defective. And what that meant was they came out of the box burning brighter than ever. So initially you go, well, that's nice. But it didn't take us long to figure out where the lights should have lasted 2,000 hours. They were rarely lasting 200 hours. They were being overheated. I knew we invented this 12 months later, but I knew if we didn't move fast with engineers, that we were in trouble because I had 5-year warranties on this tree. I think my point is a $500 Christmas tree or even a $200 is a cool product, but with it comes a lot of liability and responsibility.
Of course. And you are, sometimes people say, hey, I kind of get the feeling that maybe I brag about you too much, and I apologize if I come off too giddy, but I really dig this industry. And I don't know, John, and forgive me, but I don't know if you know how much you've done for this industry. So you take just the environmental side of it. So back in 2004, you came out with the Lightkeeper Pro. Do you have any idea? So I want you to tell me about that. And I apologize, I'm getting pretty excited. Did you have any idea the impact that you would have on an environmental side because of all the lights that get fixed and don't get put into the landfill?
Well, once invented, it was a little reprehensible to hear how often light sets were thrown away. We thought we knew, but then you go to trade shows and then you meet with people, and we knew we were onto something. Our publicist last year helped us to calculate that minimally, we probably saved at least 1 billion light bulbs from going into the landfills. So yes, it's a good feeling. We went for green certification, and they wanted Energy Star wanted to hear it out, but they couldn't quantify it. If you make a washer machine, and then another guy makes a washing machine, and his uses 20% less energy, it's easy to quantify. When we come along, yes, we are green, we help the environment, but because they couldn't quantify that, it wasn't going to get our certification.
I get the logic behind that because it's an unknown variable. It's going to change from year to year depending on how many lights go. I 100% get that. So the Lightkeeper Pro 2004 has impacted the industry. Can you tell us how the Lightkeeper Pro came to be? Can you tell us that story?
Oh, yeah. I say hang around smart people whenever you can. An inventor walks into my booth in August of 2000 at the International Hardware Show, and that would be in Chicago. And he just had an idea for a new Christmas tree stand and some other ideas. But I knew he was smart. I knew he was hungry. I took him to Asia in October. I showed him how lights were made, how trees were made. In November, long story short, he asked me, when are we going to make my Christmas tree stand? And I told him, nothing concerns me more than some kind of solution for Christmas lights. He invented this product in 15 minutes.
I did know that story. That's right. Yeah. And he just threw something together real quick. Goes, yeah, this will work. Here you go. And you tried it and it just kind of took off from there, huh?
What he knew, what all of us knew is, I want to get this right here. Okay, here we go. This is an incandescent light bulb. Okay. And he knew if we could just get the aluminum shunt to do what it was designed to do, and that's what the Lightkeeper does. It performs a mini weld inside of a failed bulb. Once we do that, we get the light set going again. All right. He knew it through Q&A that he and I had. He asked me some questions. I gave him the limited knowledge that I had. But all that is, when you walk up to a burned out bulb on a working light set, that the marketing is right. When one bulb burns out, the rest stays lit. The marketing just isn't always true. And it won't be true. It's the laws of physics. It needs a little boost sometimes, and that boost is through the use of a piezo ceramic.
No, I had a gal reach out to me on an email the other day, and she had the keeper. She was fixing it, and she, for whatever reason, she forgot about the shunt fixture and the trigger. So this thing is like freaking magic. I remember the first time I'm like, "There's no way that works." I mean, come on! And you plug it in, and it's like freaking magic. It just you plug the light in, and sometimes the shunts just break apart. Plug them in, pull the trigger, and I don't know any other word than to say magic. It's freaking phenomenal. It's so cool to see in person.
It's beautiful magic. We read, so we get in over 20 years, we've received over 100,000 phone calls and emails. And in the course of that time, we some people start with, because you advertise on TV, we thought it had to be a gimmick.
So, yeah.
So in some cases, we're punished for advertising on TV, and I get that. I really do get that. I'm a consumer also, but we're so proud. It's a very instant fix when you can fix it. If the squirrel eats the wire, you're not going to fix that instantly. If the bulb falls out, you're not going to fix that instantly. Then you want the audible detection method.
So one thing I use, and I think I have a picture of it. I think I was smart enough to put a picture of it. So this might cover our faces here a little bit, but you have these pods that you create, and they kind of take the place of the wires. You put the wires in there. So I had squirrels just devour a light set I had. Fix it with the pods, and I did a video about it. And a guy said, squirrels, very angry response. Squirrels never, in my 30 years of hanging lights, I've never eaten. I'm like, I don't know where you live that you don't have squirrels to eat. Squirrels and rabbits in Kansas love to eat Christmas wires, and I don't know why. Can't be that delicious.
I'm going to say his lights are indoors.
Oh, that'd have been a great. I've never thought about that. That's a great line.
Oh,
that's
Charlie,
awesome.
I'm with you. The first time I heard about it in our first year or two of doing this, one of the guys in the office said, I don't believe it. And like you, when it happened in my own backyard, I said, I believe it.
So you got this pro out here. It's fixing incandescent lights left and right for folks. And then the LED keeper comes along, which is hands down my favorite tool that you offer. I have it on my tool belt. I'm just amazed by it. Can you talk to us about how that came to be and what that does?
Wow, it is another cool story. American ingenuity. We knew starting in 2009, I kept asking, we've got to fix this, guys. And I got smart engineers. And we tried this way and that way and this way. And spent a lot of money and a lot of time. We couldn't figure it out. I get a phone call. I'm going to make the story brief, but it's not a brief story. Get a phone call through a mutual friend. A guy in Dallas, Texas has figured it out. Coincidentally, I'm flying to Texas that weekend with my youngest son. We meet on Saturday, and I knew he was on to something. And his invention was that he was able to put, with the assistance of his wife, he asked her for a sewing needle. He made a circuit that if the needle could just go in the light set, he could illuminate all the working portions and then allow you to figure out the one bulb causing the trouble. That all took place in August of 2011. All of us moved real fast and brought it to market in 2012, and just created a beautiful arrangement real quick that everybody was happy with. I put up the fees for patent protection that named him. Dennis Cherry is the primary inventor, and he loves the relationship, as do we. And LED sets don't fail as often as incandescent, but when they do fail, you've got more of an investment in it.
My favorite thing about the LED keeper, and I just kind of stumbled upon this. I had all my lights up, and then Braden, who watches the show a lot, he's from our town. He sends me a text, "Hey, your red lights are out on your roof above the garage." I'm like, they're intermingled with all my other lights. So I was able to isolate that line. I'm like, I wonder if I could fix them with the LED keeper while they're still attached on my roof. And lo and behold, I was, and that just blew my mind. Not only can you use because normally you fix the light sets, it's in your hands, you fix it one at a time, no big deal. But even when they're already installed, it's saving the day, which is freaking phenomenal.
Yeah. I guarantee you, I want your listeners to know, if there were ever a way that we could fix all light sets with, instantly, we would do it. But it's the laws of physics. I'll never be able to fix, and we tried an LED set instantly. Nobody will. It doesn't have that incandescent design, and it's a different animal. I'll add to that. People ask me in seminars, why do LEDs even fail? And I tell them, they're not failing for BMW and Mercedes. They're not failing for hospitals and traffic lights. But this industry of ours, we're paying approximately 10 cents per LED. If you do the math, $10 light set, 100 light set. We're getting a different grade of LED, and so they're gonna fail occasionally. But as you well know, Charlie, as somebody who enjoys Christmas lights, it is more robust.
It is, and there's a huge jump between retail grade and commercial grade. So I have an intermix of both lights, and I have a set of LED, SMD strobe lights that commercial grade I've had for 14 years, and the first time a light set's ever failed on me. And there's no fixing those, but that's fine. One thing that you're known for, Lightkeeper Pro, LED Keeper, is your user friendliness. You even include the batteries, which nobody does anymore. I remember I had a gentleman reach out to me several years ago named Scott P. Scott said, "Hey, I got the LED keeper. It's not freaking working." And he goes, "Never mind. The battery wasn't pushed all the way in." I'm like, "Yeah, well, there you go." So that was his only complaint. Battery pushes in, instantly fixes all of his lights. You even have the user's manual. So if you go to the LED Keeper website or the lightkeeperpro.com, the user's manuals are on there because everybody throws them away. And you actually have a user-friendly kick butt user manual. It's in plain English, and it's in layman's terms, and it's easy to follow along. Is that something you did purposely and you take pride in? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, I'm going to give the best credit to my first vice president. He had formerly been a buyer, but he and I kept looking at it through the lens of what would we expect as consumers.
Ooh, okay.
And that was our North Star. Then within that, we said, okay, what's the best we could do? And one of the greatest compliments that we could ever get is people will call. If we can answer your call, immediately, we do. If not, we return the call. Usually in this time of year, it's within an hour. You're getting a call back. Mm-hmm. Before anything happens, people say, I'm talking to a human being based in the United States, mm-hmm. who happens to know what they're talking about. They said that this is abnormal. But if you can do it, that's the way you should do it. Mm-hmm. I could always save a lot of nickels by going offshore and ultimately sell less units. And I know we wouldn't feel as good. People say, why don't you make this in the U.S.? I can guarantee you, we've run the math too many times. This, mm-hmm. what is $24.99 today at various places, some a little more expensive, some cheaper. But what is $24.99 would be $49.99 at a minimum. Ooh. So trust me, we're Americans that love America. Here we go. You see the prices.
Yeah.
My real point on it all is we're proud of that customer service.
Catch up here on the comments here a little bit. The squirrels are kind of coming into play. Rob's 54 years old, been doing Christmas lights with his father in New York since he's 5, and knock on wood, never had anything eating the wires. Go buy a lottery ticket, Rob. That's freaking cool. Kurt says often had problems with squirrels, both Virginia and Florida. And then Gabbo's coming in. Gabbo actually emailed me a question. His question, let me get to my email here. And he says, so he's fixing a mini incandescent light set with a control box with musical Christmas lights. It's on a mini tree. And his lights, he's having failures with that. And I actually get a lot of people that email me and say, hey, I have a pre-lit tree, or I have a tree with a control box. How do I fix those lights? And I tell them, you can't. Am I wrong? And can you speak on that?
Control box, it's the laws of physics. That's my boss. Control box, I cannot fix incandescent with the squeeze of a trigger, and I cannot fix it with the audible voltage detector. I can't. The only thing I can help you on is my bulb tester, if you wanted to go that route. The normal problems on control boxes, internal soldering. If you have the ability, to open the box, sometimes you do. You might see a loose connection there, but it's one of those things. Believe me, if we could, we would.
And then from New Zealand, Pepsi says the only thing that eats his lights are his cats and puppies. Classic. See, Monty says he was able to find a bad bulb on 14 LED 100 light strands from Walmart last year. I'm getting that a lot, so I don't know if Walmart changed their lights or what, but Monty here has used your LED keeper and saved a ton of money on fixing brand new lights. One thing that Walmart changed this year is they no longer have free replacement bulbs in the box. It's just the fuse. And in my years, I've had the fuse go out one time, and that's because I was trying to heat shrink plugged in lights. For whatever reason, I left them plugged in, and it fried all the fuses and all the strings that were attached.
I'm so glad you said that. Fuses on light set failure, maybe 1 in 100 times, but the inference, because we're given free fuses, is that it's the fuses. That light set at Walmart that we just bought 2 weeks ago is $5.98 for 100. So it's 6 pennies. It's a good price. It is. There's a reason, Charlie, and I don't know that you knew this. There's a reason you got no bulbs. That is a non-replaceable. You cannot pull a bulb out.
Huh. Interesting. So if there's no bulbs, and then that generally means there's okay. I got an email
on this set. This is another new technology. We learned about it early in the summer from friends overseas, but this is the road they went down, and this is the first year. This is the first year of that set in the marketplace at promotional pricing like this.
That's in my email. I thought it was an email today. I was going to give him props and say, hey, here's his name. But it was actually, he commented on a video. But somebody this morning said, hey, Walmart doesn't have replacement bulbs. He said exactly that. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah,
come on.
It's a single fuse inside the bag. And that's only because of UL mandate. But remember this. We're in trouble with fuses when we overload the circuit.
Yes.
Okay. And with LED, that's hard to do. That is hard to do.
So with that in mind, what are some of the most common Christmas light bulb failures?
Within LED, and it doesn't happen as much anymore, but it was corrosion on the leads because they were using plated steel at the time.
Oh, okay.
That was the number one failure. Now it's just workmanship. Again, you're paying 6 pennies a bulb sometimes, so that's on that. With incandescent, you could take a working incandescent light set, and remember, we're hot inside the bulbs, drop it at the end of the year, and unknowingly fail it at that moment where one post might have broken away from the filament. So at that moment, you failed it. People think they failed during the summer or whatever. You know what I mean? You didn't know it, but when it's hot, just gently set it down and wrap them nicely when you can. But test them. Everybody tests them before they put them up. But the number one cause of all Christmas light set failure is internal bulb failure.
Can you riddle me this? LED bulbs. The most common failure I see is I use the keeper. I find that the single bad bulb or the two bad bulbs, and I remove it, and the copper is worn off on one of the prongs. One prong is just gone. It's not inside there. Where do these? It's like Seinfeld and the missing sock. Like, what's the deal with socks? Where does this missing filament go? Is it just like you said a minute ago, and I just dropped it and it just broke off, or what?
Yeah, what it is, I mean, here's another way. They detach. So the posts here are once the two copper posts detach either one of them from the tungsten filament, we lost that continuity that's necessary for us. And
Okay.
It's gonna happen. I don't want to forget this. Number one piece of advice: if somebody just got a brand new tree, pre-lit tree, or anything of the like, when you see burned out bulbs, replace them fast. And you and I have talked about this before. Why? On incandescent, for example, 2 burned out bulbs increases the demise by 39%. 4 burned out bulbs on 150 light set increases the demise by 63%. The naked eye doesn't pick up on it, but like if I had 10 burned out bulbs, you go, whoa, the others got bright, because they're accepting all of the voltage.
Okay.
Yeah. So what happens, first they get bright and then they burn out.
Makes complete sense. That's a good explanation. Monty says that corrosion on his leads causes leads to break the vast majority of his bulbs, and they all get corrosion. And there's no great way. I got this wire brush. I think it's supposed to use on car batteries or something. But I'll stick it down in a socket set and usually get the corrosion out pretty decently most of the times. Let's see here. Rob says, I like a new set of Ace. Somebody had a comment with a nice compliment for you. There it is. Pepsi. John, sounds like this business concept uses the same principle as when he designs props. Here it is. Chad says big box stores need John DeCosmo because he cares about products and customers. I agree with that. Let's see here. Repairing Christmas lights with these tools, the Keeper and the Like a Pro is freaking convenient and it's cost effective. Can you talk about the long-term benefits of using tools to purchase the new lights and versus fixing broken ones? For me, we talked earlier about it saves the landfill, 1 billion failures or 1 billion pounds. Not to mention, I don't know if you've thought about this. You probably have, because you're much smarter than I am. Just the fossil fuels. You're not hurting the ozone layer by driving to the store to pick them up. I guess you could have an electric car, but just the chain of events, just by fixing the lights. You're not driving, which maybe you get in a wreck, maybe you get injured, but instead of that, you're at home, you're fixing lights, you're keeping the money in your pocket. I go off on tangents, John, and I apologize.
Join the club. I think I'm going to surprise you that I don't think it's financial for people. I really don't.
Okay.
And I'll tell you why I say that. And this is a company, we put a lifetime warranty on our tools. The only thing I can't warranty is the battery. But believe me, sometimes it's going to happen. We take a few back each year. We replace some brand new. But I don't think it's the money. I think if I've got hundreds of dollars of lights that I put out, and this investment of $25 or so is out there, that I don't think is the issue. I think you need to be willing to invest 30 minutes to learn the tool. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Of course, yeah, I love to fix them quick, but you're not going to fix every light set you encounter real quick. It's just not going to work that way. And by the way,
100% agree.
Discourage more than one person from fixing a light set. You can have one problem when you start, and if you're going to let the family jump in, before you know it, you might have 3. Because if I'm inspecting a bulb and then I don't even put it back properly, You know what I mean? Now
Yes.
we have multiple problems. So
Yep.
we all like, as a family, we like to do a lot of things. Light set repair is not one I recommend.
Yeah. So you have a YouTube channel, and on your website you have videos that demonstrate how to use it. So if somebody needs that 30 minutes, they want to learn the tool. And I think you've even updated over the last few years your videos, but you have some fantastic how-to videos that teach you how to do things start to finish. So do those show everything or just the majority of things, or can you talk about your own videos?
For us, I don't think we missed anything.
Yeah, I don't think you did.
What confuses people? They'll say we missed it. They say we don't talk about icicle lights enough sometimes, or net lights enough. And I know where they're going, but every piece of logic we've ever given you is how to fix a series light set. Series is defined as if you pull out one bulb from a functional set. If the set goes out, that's series. Clark
Right.
Griswold used parallel wired. Okay, so that was always 120 volts at every lamp socket. So the only thing that was going to happen to him is he would have burned out bulbs, and
Right.
that's the difference. But that's a 120 volt. That's an expensive set. Most of us deal in the lower cost sets. Yeah, we've tried hard. We've tried very hard to make the videos complete. More importantly, we want if you capture the basics, you're going to go far with this. Okay, the voltage detector confuses people. So we try to explain a voltage detector. Plug in a 100-foot extension cord to a live socket. You're going to get beeping all the way down 100 feet. And we've got no power, but if the lawnmower goes over it at the 50-foot mark and severs it, you're going to get beeping only on the first 50 feet. You know what I mean?
Right.
So we lost that there. One thing that confuses people that call us on occasion, they say, aha, your beeper doesn't work for me. I went up to a live light set and it doesn't work. It's not designed to, and you don't need me. And again, the laws of physics. If they want to debate it or understand it, we'll explain it to them. But that's a place. So I hope I answered your question there.
Yeah, yeah. Your videos they're clear, concise, and they're there to just kind of educate. We got some good questions here for the audience here. Kurt says the most frustrating things with LEDs is when the capacitor goes bad. Is there anything can be done about in the industry to improve the capacitors industry wide? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Yeah, and I think I know what's being spoken of. There's a pod.
Yeah.
There's a pod with resistors in it on a good many of the LED light sets. That's a manufacturing, and it's going to happen. It just happens sometimes. And that's the one time with LED where we tell people, if you can get the factory to send you a new pod, you're going to be fine. But we can't help you there. We don't know. We just can't help. But
what is the purpose?
I will say, it's in the rarity department. When it happens to you once and twice, it's frustrating. You know what I mean? But these guys. The retailers punish them when they make bad light sets. They punish them financially.
Oh yeah,
and UL sometimes punishes when you don't make it right.
Oh really?
Oh yes, they do. UL has a 2-strike system. Your first mistake. Let's say, for lack of a better word, you cheated. You did something wrong. That first strike gets you closer to your last strike. The second strike, they'll pull the file, and you will not be a UL listed factory.
Oh,
so there's a lot of people in your corner, for doing it right, and the two foremost are the retailer and underwriter laboratory.
Huh. Very cool. Steve says, "Is the LED keeper? Are you working on any plans for LED pixel repairs? And are you looking at getting into the pixel industry for any tools there?"
The inventor, Dennis Cherry, who lives in Dallas, has has looked at this substantially. He learned from Facebook a couple of years ago there was smoking going on within LED, within the pixels, and somebody owned up to a manufacturing defect. But I don't know, because every problem seems to be coming in different. I don't know how we could help there. And I'm easy to find. If somebody has an idea that they ever want to discuss, if you just go to our website, it's so easy to find all the information here.
So, a gentleman named Haas, he's from Florida. He has a YouTube channel called Off Kilter Homestead, and he emailed me like 2 months ago. Said, "Hey, we're getting a real tree. Real trees in Florida suck. They don't smell like real trees. What was that scent keeper thing you had?" I'm like, "That's exactly what it was. It's a scent keeper." So, in 2016, you noticed a giant hole in the industry that didn't maybe know it was there. And I've actually done some research on this since you and I started talking a few years ago. And you go to Lowe's, Home Depot, big box stores, or your local, Ace Hardware, Mom and Pop, or whatever that sells Christmas trees. The scent is directly tied to when they're cut. By the time you get them weeks later, they still may not be brittle, but the scent's gone. So, can you talk to us about the scent keeper, how that came to be, and what it is?
So, a couple of important things. These are learnings as we're members of the National Christmas Tree Association. Today's tree is a real tree is apparently not as fragrant as trees of 25 plus years ago, but many people say today's tomato doesn't taste like it did. Soils change, different things happen, but still the same. You've got 30 million real trees cut every year. It's a tremendously popular product. It's a good product. But even the people with real trees told us they need a little boost where they can do it. You figure if every home only had one tree for that decorate, 2/3 are using artificial trees, 1/3 are using real trees. Within all of that, we just got to work and we said, how is it that we can come up with something that would be both affordable and proper in doing it? And to your point, we found the right fragrance in 2016. But what we invented, and we're going to do giveaways with this, Charlie, but what we invented was the ability to take the pure oil and disperse it into the air properly. So here we are. This tree goes right in the oil and can hang on your tree, or you can make it freestanding. We're supplying 15 grams of oil. Within 1 hour, you'll see the oil walking up the tree. Within 24 hours, you'll see the oil all over the tree. Within 30 days, 2/3 of that bottle, or 10 grams, is in the air. Within 60 days, 12 of those 15 grams are in the air. And this makes a room smell good. That was important to us. Some people concentrate on making the tree smell good. That's only good if I walk up to the tree. Yeah. Our standard was if I come in with a live tree, I'm usually making the house smell good if it's a very fragrant tree.
Right.
At the least, for $9.99, I think we can make the room smell good. And by all standards, we're getting that done. Distribution's the next large challenge for us in this.
One thing I thought was cool, because you have a very good how-to video on your website for the scent keeper, and I thought that the color it becomes, because it's white now, put it in the oil soaks it up, it kind of morphs into the same color as a Christmas tree, which I thought was a genius idea. I don't know if that's purposeful or not, but I thought it was an excellent idea.
It worked out well. The only critique, and I'll accept this one, is it's not as pretty as all my pretty ornaments. We tell people, just hide it to the back. We can't. For $9.99, we're not going to do everything. But Charlie, as you know, it's just a good fragrance, and a lot of people say it. This is legit. This is legit.
So I think it was 3 years ago, maybe four. I stood out in line. So we'll get in line to watch the show. And I'll stand out there and I just handed out scent keepers. I don't know if I told you that or not, but I just handed out scent keepers to like the first 50 people who came by the show or something one night. And like everybody's, that's cool. What is this? And I explained it to them like, oh, that's genius. That was the old style where it had the cork in it. But yeah, it's just, and one thing is I thought also genius is the scent. Scent is directly tied to memories. And every time I smell a strong Christmas tree, I think of my grandma, my grandpa in the 70s, putting that tree up. They're taking me out to the field. They're cutting it down. And it just brings back so many cool memories.
To your point, two things. First, people like Yankee Candle say that year-round pine is just a good seller, and any fragrance like that. Numerous people like that, smart people like that, have said that. Second thing, what got us really going is whenever we interviewed somebody who had a first-year artificial tree, you could almost write the script. They almost all said the same thing. You say, hey, how did it go, et cetera, but we do miss the smell of a real tree.
Yes. And it's funny you mentioned Yankee Candle and Pine. I got about 15 of them upstairs right now. I'm a Yankee Candle kind of guy. It's you can get candles anywhere, but for me, Yankee Candle's about quality because the scent lasts forever. But that's just a fun fact. No one knew about
quality. It's a quality product, continually quality.
Mm-hmm. Now, Altula has started. It prides itself on customer satisfaction, and you mentioned you have excellent phone services that are getting to start this Thanksgiving. It's Thanksgiving week. You're going to start manning them so much so that Gabo even says that he talked to you last year and want to talk to you again. He's used your phone services before and loved it. So here in a few days, you guys are going to start manning 7 day a week to help people get through their holiday lighting season. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Well, 7 days a week. We start the day after Thanksgiving, and then we run right through. Believe me, we take calls on Thanksgiving, but right up until Christmas Eve. But I'm proud of this. There's not a month where we don't take calls, and I'll get calls in the summer. In other words, the phone line stays alive. The interesting thing about the calls that you're looking at sometimes an average of 15 minutes on the calls. This is not yes, no, hello, thank you. This is we wish every call was a FaceTime because it does help. But people send pictures. We figure it out. Sometimes we have to call them back. We have to share the news in the office. Somebody might have a constant on light set made by GE. Well, that's made of springs where the bulb comes out, the springs come in to fill in. But that can be a little trickier with the fused bulb and sets like that. Sometimes the calls are just fun. The woman called in our first year of doing this. She says, "You've got to help me. This is my first Christmas of my second marriage." And we're like, whoa. But we empathize. We said, let's get this right. Let's get this figured out.
Where'd it go? Great question from Angela. Is the oil pet safe? I don't know what pet safe means, but there's the question.
Yeah, and I don't know what it means about oil. There's a toxicity. There's a toxicity to anything, including water.
Oh, yeah.
We've learned if we take too much water in our body, we can harm ourselves substantially. I don't believe that any oil can be rated as safe for animals.
Fair enough. Rob said, "Is this a keeper in the big box stores too?"
Yeah, it's not in all the box stores.
Okay,
and I'm going to be brief with that. I'm still dealing. This had to happen someday, and it started in 2019. We've been dealing. We completed dealing with a patent infringement issue last year, But now we're just dealing with cheap knockoff issues at two major box store chains. And what is out there doesn't hold a candle to what we're doing.
Yeah, I was not going to bring that up. I'm glad you did. I got a lot of emails saying, "Hey, you got to ask them about the knockoffs." I'm like, yeah, I'm not. I'm going to leave it alone.
No, go to Lowe's, go to Target this year, and let's start with go ahead and buy the product. It's $19.99 at both stores. Let's call it for what it is. It starts with there's no ability to get any customer service. You'll see that right away. There's a reason for that. But more importantly, the way that you're supposed to fix LED light sets is to remove every bulb individually and put the metal in the bulb socket and hope that you eventually find the one socket which has a bad bulb, and then go ahead and replace the bulb, throw away the bulb. Fine. Let's remember what we just talked about 10 minutes ago. Walmart's light set this year is non-replaceable. So yeah. What are you going to do with that product? You know, this is, Charlie, these things happen. I've come to appreciate the legal profession more than ever. Everything that happened to us in the years previous, they dealt with properly. And now I just have to deal with copycat, and it's a bad copycat. And, you know, if you've been outdone, you got to tip your hat. You know what I mean?
Right.
Well, I haven't had to tip my hat yet.
And I don't mean I haven't had this tool. I didn't know this tool existed. This little Walmart knockoff, or whatever. I haven't had it in my hand, so I can't really say anything good or bad about it. But how you described it sounds horrifically time consuming. And anytime you jam something into a socket, you take the chance of damaging the socket. That just seems draconian style, maybe. I guess draconian might be the word used. It seems silly, but you know what?
No, you're gonna like this because we're friends and I know you a long time. You're gonna like this. You ready? Yep. This is their video. This is live. This is their video to demonstrate their product. You know what we say? You know what we say? What's today? November 20th, I think. We say Christmas is coming soon also.
Yes.
I mean, Charlie, this is what I deal with.
Well, you know what? More power to you. And you said you've developed a appreciation for the legal aspects, but you have a patience of a saint, I tell you. Patience.
Yeah, it's being tested. But what I just showed you was not a screenshot. That was live. I just went to the website and got the same news. So that you're if you understand nothing, you've already heard enough to know 1999 or just read the reviews.
Yeah, Rob says he's the one who emailed me and asked the questions about how do they get away with making your product like they do at Target? All right,
well, how do they get away with that? Oh boy.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
No. It's how did they get away with that? It's some buyers are smarter than others. I can go on and on, but it's happened to all of us. We go to the marketplace and we bring our money, and you say, oh, over here I can save money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So anyway, I appreciate you having a product you stand behind, so much so that you answer the phones yourselves and you answer the questions. And I agree that would be one cool thing that I think having a video call would probably take a lot of the articulation out of it. Like, hey, it's the fourth bulb from the end or whatever. And I called one time many years ago, and I recommend when people watch my videos on your products and they'll say, hey, I got this problem set, and I'll do my best to answer it. And I don't know, and I will give you your phone number to them. Like, hey, call the experts, ask for John. I don't know whoever's answering the phone, and you know what? I have never in I've been using the keeper for 5 years. I've never in 5 years had one person ever come back and say, they didn't answer the phone. No one's ever said
No,
that, which I'm sure they would.
No, no, you won't be a tech here long. No, you mentioned that you listen to Charlie's show. You make sure you get the answer you're looking for. They can't know everything, but they know the system. If you don't know the answer, see a senior tech. Yes, it might take us an hour or two to circle back with you, but every light set is repairable, but two. On incandescent, if you see black in all the bulbs, you're not going to fix that set. People call us, they say, okay, I replaced 25 out of the 50. We tell them, you just wasted your time. Those other 25 are going out the next day, okay? And the other light set on LED is that corrosion I've told you about.
Yeah.
The light itself is going to last 50,000 hours. They are.
So earlier we talked about Haas. Haas is popping in now. He's the gentleman that was asking me about your scent keeper. Hey, I was hoping to get here in time, replacing an exploded water heater. So he's listening. So Haas, we're there with you in spirit. Don't forget the 3/4 wrench. But we were just talking about you a little ago. And Gabo asked a question: does Rich Frederick still at Altalit? I don't know who Rich is, but is that a former employee of yours or current?
Nope. Very good. You've got very good questions. Rich Frederick, I talked with him this summer. He's the inventor I told you that figured this out.
Very nice.
in 15 minutes. In 2000, we had a beautiful partnership. In 2006, he asked to be bought out. In 2007, he was bought out. On November 30th of 2007, history will bear me out. The recession started the next day. It started December of 2007. My sales go down 20% next year. He and his wife Karen live comfortably in Virginia, and are planning to celebrate their 25th wedding anniversary real soon. And Rich is an inventor of many products. But yeah, he walked into my booth in August of 2000 at Hardware through a recommendation. We had a mutual friend. And,
gotcha.
It was one of the best meetings. He got it. He got it.
So speaking of Rich, kind of leads my next question. Are there what have you hit any milestones recently? Is there anything up and coming? I know when we talked years ago, you mentioned something about maybe a palm tree or something invention that's coming down. Is there? Can you
that product
going on?
We'll come back to palm trees. That's taking us longer than I should. We've received. Let me get this right. We've received 2 patents on this clip. And have not done enough work on the marketing. But imagine, for example, that you've got an icicle light set, okay? And you want to point all the bulbs down. Well, now you've got a clip, and I'm not done. The clip that we made, it does not have the tensile strength that it should have. But here we go on that. And the first thing is you can make icicle lights go where they want, because as we all know, light bulbs are going to go wherever they want to go. Further with that product, once we get it right, and I just got back on October 21st from my first trip overseas in 4 years. But we got to work on the factory with this. Then the next thing is you can start to write with light sets.
Okay.
So you might want to do the name of your town, your family name.
Right.
But this would help in that, and it'll help substantially. That's something we're working on. Okay. With palm trees, our intent was right, but our product was wrong.
Okay.
With palm trees, the problem they have every year is it's difficult when they have to put the lights on the tree. When they go to take it off, they either have to scissor off good LED light sets, or they have to unwind them. And when you're paying a guy in a cherry picker might end up costing you $50 an hour. You're renting the cherry picker or what have you. So the cost of labor is serious. And another inventor out of Texas. There's a lot of ingenuity out of Texas. I came to learn very fast. Another inventor in Texas and we did something. We did a no-wrap strap that didn't work, and we're working on other ideas. And there's definitely a need for it because the beauty is there, but it's expensive. It's expensive to put up those lights and take them down. So.
Yes, Kurt's chiming in. He remembered the palm tree wrap that he was working on from a previous interview, and he's very interested. And it says he's willing to test anything you need for palm trees. So Kurt just he emailed me. Kurt's one of our Patreon guys, but you talk about saving money. Kurt will rent a lift, and he rented it, I believe, from Home Depot. It broke on him, so the repairman had to come back out, and he had to rent it again for another day or another half day just to get all of his palm trees lit. So an invention like what you're talking about definitely save him money.
So in that case, Charlie, please give me that contact information.
I'll do it.
Because we are looking for somebody to work with where we try some things and nothing for nothing. It's just we would love to make the association there. That challenge proved hard.
I bet. Yeah. I bet. Well, I'm invention ignorant. The only thing I've invented is, I had 2 kids, so I'll claim 50% invention on those. But I'm invention ignorant, so I assume it does. But Kurt also, he doesn't do just Christmas; he does 4th of July, Memorial Day. So he's always up in his palm trees, putting things up and down. So
yeah,
that'll work out.
That's beautiful.
Angela saying she's seen some pretty naughty palm tree displays. So John, what is a fun fact that we can know about you, or maybe we don't know that? What's something cool, neat, and fun about you that we don't know?
I liked when you asked me this. This is simple and it may be boring to most. So I'm born in 1960, but in that year, my father is a manufacturer of ladies' curler brushes.
Okay,
a ladies' curler brush. It goes like this. Yeah. And a lady's curler brush is a product for the youth that a lady might have rolled up and put in a plastic cylinder in her hair.
Yep.
And took it out later in the day and had a natural curl in there. That company, and he ran that division, that company, just a bunch of machinists that were very good businessmen. They experimented in artificial trees just a few years later. Well, they got lucky. As the ladies' curler brush sales went down, the artificial tree went up. And imagine that in the late 60s, these guys were selling an artificial tree for $100, and they told you that in 10 years, it would pay for itself because a real tree was $10 then.
Mm-hmm.
My father's first boss is still alive at the age of 99. We share the same birthday in May, and I hope to be at his 100th birthday. And I think I'm pretty damn confident he'll be there in May in New York City. He lives at 65th and Broadway. That man, so I'm digressing a little here.
No, you're good. You're good.
But that man got a 2-page write-up in the New York Times just December 23rd or so, 2 years ago. 2 pages. Jewish World War II bomber pilot makes millions in artificial Christmas trees. But under his leadership as president, our company had 5 factories around the United States with a 64% market share, selling $50 million in artificial trees. So that was a long answer to a good short.
No, you're good. Yeah, and now that I see that, and my mom, my grandma's, they all use those. In fact, I think my grandma Johnson, who's still around, I think she might even still use them. But when you hold it up, that reminds me of what a limb would look like from a Christmas tree. So I don't think I 100% get that.
Yeah. So it had the name toilet brush, whatever the name is, but that's the origins of this trade.
So here in a few minutes, folks, we're going to do a giveaway. So make sure you're putting in hashtag keeper into the comments, and we'll do a random giveaway. It'll pick one of your comments, but hashtag keeper. Let's see here. So for folks that you're getting ready to have your phones are always open, but getting ready to have the meat of it. What's the helpline phone number folks can call in and ask for help to use the keeper or the Light Keeper Pro?
Can I talk to you later? Apart from the message, I'm in Mexico City.
Oh, sorry, I'm jumping around. I apologize. I go. I'm in Mexico City, and I wonder if you could sell your product here. It would be awesome to see it in Mexico.
Yeah, I understand. So here's one easy way. I went to Mexico. I went to the stores in Mexico just before COVID. They like LED lights on a greater percentage than America.
Okay.
The beauty. And they go for brilliant multicolor LED lights. It was a pleasure to see. And I was at all the big stores. My email address, an easy way to find me, JOHN@ULTALIT.com, John@ultalit.com.
Boom. There you go. Let's see here. All right. And then I had another email.
For the giveaways, I want to do. I don't know how you're going to implement this. I want to do 3 light keepers, 3 LED keepers, however you decide.
Okay, absolutely, 3 light keepers and 3 LED keepers. So what we'll do is we'll give away 6 here, folks. 6. So when you win here in a second, we'll do the drawing. So when you win, I need you to email me christmasoncrestline@gmail.com. I will compile a list of all the winners. I need your shipping information, and I don't know if John's going to need a lot of people.
We'll ship direct from here, and I'll include a fragrance sample in each.
Nice. So yeah, email me, and then I will compile the list of all the winners and your shipping information and give that all over to John. So make sure you email me christmasoncrestline@gmail.com. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to share. Chris Minzy, Polar Escapes, aka Chris. Oh, what's up, Chris? Chris is another one of our keepers, another one of our patrons. So yeah, everybody put in hashtag keeper. We're gonna do 6 giveaways today. 6 glorious giveaways. Let me share my screen here. Let folks see everything here live. Giveaway, StreamYard share. So let's do our first giveaway, hashtag keeper, and start collecting comments, and let's draw. First winner is going to be, Chris? Chris is our first winner. HIEATT. Boom. Chris, you're our first winner. Let's draw again. Second winner is going to be, and if you're just now tuning in, do hashtag keeper. Steve. Do what?
This is high tech.
I tell you what, you get first class here. First class. See, Wonderland is going to be Steve. Third winner is going to be. It's going to be My Kiwi Christmas. So Pepsi won for My Kiwi Christmas. All right. Draw again. So our fourth winner is going to be Gabo. Look at Gabo winning something. All right. And our next winner is going to be Chad. Chad winning. Chad. And our last winner is going to be none other than, is it going to be Rob? Rob won. Well, that's so kind of you to please stop sharing. Boom. That's so kind of you to do that for us.
Charlie, my pleasure. You guys are passionate, and because you're passionate and you build good displays, thousands and thousands of impressions are made on everybody. This is you are aficionados. and that's appreciated. Charlie, I think what you'll want to do, I know you'll give me the addresses, just ask them which product they prefer.
Okay.
You know, it might be 6
100%.
LED keepers, it might be 6 light keepers. You know what
Okay.
I mean?
Right.
Yeah. We found out the hard way. We did a radio giveaway, and they called up. We thought we did good. We gave out a lot of LED keepers, and one guy called up, "Can I come in and exchange it?" He wanted to like
fair.
We want to get that right.
Fair. So yeah, so everybody email me christmasonCrestline@gmail.com. I think everybody who won today has kind of knows the name of the show, but yeah, that's just gmail.com. And then Haas is saying he loves the products. He has both testers, and luckily never had to use them, but worth the investment. And he uses the scent keepers in his car's air fresheners.
Kiwi is going to near the land down under.
Kiwi Christmas, he's from New Zealand. Yes,
right. So I got one lady in the office that'll want to deliver that.
Oh, okay. All right. Fantastic. Oh, he also has he says if you need to, he just commented and said, where did he go? That if we need to, we can give to somebody else. We need to, somebody local in need, he says. But yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for doing that. Polar says I have 2 of the new ones and 3 of the red ones and loves them.
Charlie, the record in one house, 10 light keepers. They would call us. Hey, I got 5. We go, whoa, what's going on? They say I've got a large lighting display, and there are multiple reasons, but I love when I read more than one in a house.
Well, that's my logic, because I got one. This is the one that's always on my tool belt, but I have one new in box that's been new in box for years, just in case this ever falls off the roof and shatters or whatever. Also, while I'm thinking about it, thank you from the bottom of my heart for not making this black. Everything's black. This is yellow. You can instantly find it in any toolbox or anything. I think everything you did about this is genius, but the color's just spot on. It helps everybody.
Thank you. It's,
But yeah, that's about it for us today. I don't think there's any more questions I got. Do you have any questions for any of the viewers?
It's not a question, but you just stimulated a memory. That was going to be red. Red was going to be our identity. Okay. And we were at a True Value show, and one store said, if you make the color different, it'll be easy to differentiate later. And every phone tech I've ever had loves it. They say, how can I help you? What color tool? In other words, you don't have to remember the brand name.
Yes.
So I think the lesson is just listening. You know, it's the lesson for us.
Yeah, that's now that you say that out loud, I can 100% see in that being a cool thing to do.
It worked out. Thank you as always. Thank you.
Yeah. So John, stick around here for a minute. Don't hang up on me. I'm going to do my banner. We'll get out of here. But yeah, thanks everybody for being a part of the chat today, for just kind of being here with everybody and coming in and talking to John, talking to me. We love this hobby. We love hanging nights. This is our go-to. And thank you, John, for coming on your busy week. It's all our busy weeks, but we're all in the industry. That's about it for me today. He's John. I'm Charlie, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye, guys.